vlog. It's been a while. We're actually doing something not in our typical day-to-day. So it is currently Saturday. We are driving to Toronto for the weekend because my oldest niece is getting baptized tomorrow. So we are going to partake in that. We're hoping to do a little bit of shopping. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, we are definitely going to my brother's bookstore. So that's going to be exciting because it has been 4 years apparently since we've last been there. I know, right? My phone told me that. I love Google Maps. My Google has a timeline thing, so every time I look something up, it tells me when I last visited. So yeah, that's the plan. So right now we are just driving and heading there, and it is a beautiful day, really sunny. Now, as we get closer to Toronto, traffic will not be like this at all. Well, we have hit Toronto traffic. We're moving just slowly. We're close to the airport. We're making a stop. Okay, so we went to IKEA and our big purchase, $4.99 for a glass oven dish. So, future Jeanette here. As I was working on putting all these clips together for this vlog, I realized I did not vlog the Saturday in Toronto very well at all. I vlogged up to IKEA and then I dropped off the face and forgot I was vlogging and didn't talk to you. So basically, after we left IKEA, we went to my brother's bookstore, which is Agape Christian Marketplace, and we looked around there, but my brother was not at the store when we were there. He was going to arrive later in the day. So we missed him, but that's okay. We saw him on Sunday. So I did get some clips of the fiction section of the store, but that was it. And then we left and went and met up with some extended family, and we had supper with them, and then we spent the night at their place, and then we went to church on Sunday and saw my brother and his family and witnessed the baptism of my niece. And now back to the vlog.
Trusted in the Lord Jesus Christ for the salvation of your sins and forever?
Yes.
Is it your intention to live your life for Him in service?
Yes.
Then I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Service. So we visited with my brother and sister-in-law and our nieces and nephew, and watched our niece get baptized by my brother, so by her dad, which was really cool. So I do have a video of that, and they said I could use it, so I will insert that here. And now we are headed back home, trying to leave Toronto, and traffic is busy again. We are so not used to the 401 traffic.
No, we're not.
We're moving.
Yes.
Compared to
We haven't stopped, so that's always a good sign. Express and collectors moving slowly beyond next transfer, but we are still going. So praise the Lord. Whoa. I spoke
Maybe
too
you
soon.
shouldn't have said anything.
I spoke too soon.
And now we stopped.
Kind of. Not fully though.
Finally. the roads that we are used to driving.
Amen. Hallelujah.
We are home now. We've been home for a while. And I am going to read some childhood books that I was given as a kid because my birthday's coming up this week. By the time you see this video, it'll be past, but yeah. So the first book I'm going to start with, I put them in the order that I received them. So I received this one in 88 and 90, nope, 89, 90, and 91. So 4 years. So the first one is The Mysterious Camper by Ruth Johnson J. And it says, Karen's imagination runs wild as she leads her companions into a mystery involving a tag-along camper, a sick child, and a couple of busy highway patrolmen. Only after a false lead do they realize God's purposes in delaying their arrival at camp. So let's dig in and I will let you know. Do I remember any of this, reading this back? So 1988, I would have been 9 years old when I received this, because I received this in March of 88. So yeah, I will check back in. That will be my evening, and then once I'm done this, then I'll dive into the next book, which is Broken Things by Andrea Boschauer. This is the last book on my November TBR to read. So, little tiny one, and then I'll dive into the big one. And at some point, I will then dive into the others. So, I will check in. It is Monday now, and I am home from work, and my husband is at a massage appointment, so I have the house to myself for at least an hour. Yay, that doesn't happen very often. So I read this last night in one sitting. I mean, it's less than 100 pages, and I don't remember it. It did not come back to me at all. It was a cute story about brother and sister, father and a brother's friend, traveling across country to go work at a Bible camp. And along the way, they are able to witness to a couple people and just connect with a couple that they were concerned about because of something happened. It was really cute and really strong faith message because they witnessed and you saw them pray with somebody to become a Christian and then somebody else, and just the way that God worked to help to put them in the right place at the right time to help this person. I really enjoyed it. It was cute. So now I'm going to move on to Elizabeth Gale and the Mystery at the Johnson Farm. And this one was given to me, I can't open the cover, February of 1989. So I would have been 10. Yes, turning 11 later that year. So yeah, I'm going to read this one. I'm excited to read this one. I expect to probably remember some of this one because, I mean, it's set on a horse farm or with horses in it. The back says, Elizabeth Gale Dodds was determined never to love anybody again, especially not foster parents. Yet the Johnson home was different. Never in her 11, almost 12 years had Libby seen such a house or met such a warm Christian family. But she was only an aide kid, and surely the Johnsons would grow tired of her, as all the other foster families had. Just as Libby started to relax and accept her new family's love, some strange happenings began to threaten her security. Libby knew she wasn't at fault, but who was the culprit? The mystery deepened, and so did Libby's growing faith in the Johnsons' God. Would someone solve the riddle in time to keep her from being sent away? So I would have been around the same age as Libby when I was reading this. So that's interesting. Well, I'm going to dive in and see, and can I get this done before Andrew gets home? We'll find out. I did not get the book finished before Andrew got home. I am 60 pages in, and there's 120 pages, so I'm exactly halfway through. But this was on the porch when he came home. And I did not order anything. So I'm going to open it and find out what it is because it feels like a book. I found the note. Aww, thank you. So I got A Life Once Dreamed by Rachel Fordham. I read The Letter Tree by Rachel Fordham and loved it. And I have since added all her books to my TBR list. And I have purchased some, I've requested some, and so yeah, I'm excited. This one is 6 years ago, a shocking secret sent Agnes Pratt running in search of a new start. She found it in Penn, a rugged town of miners and lumberjacks in the Dakota Territory. In the shadow of the Black Hills, she became Miss Aggie, respected schoolteacher and confirmed old maid, despite being only 24. But the past has a way of catching up with people. And there is a gift note in it, and it says, "Happy birthday. I hope your special day is everything you hope for, from Nicole." Thank you, and I am going to send a message to Nicole to thank her for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm going to continue reading, and then I need to go make supper, and I will finish this tonight for sure. I finished it, and I don't remember it at all. But of course I loved it because she's on a farm and she's learning to take care of a pony and learning to ride a pony and then gets a pony. Like, of course I loved it. And there's kind of the mean girl next door that's trying to like blame Elizabeth Gale for everything that's happening and get her in trouble, but finally, you know, it comes out that it wasn't Libby that did it, and it was a cute story. I really liked it. And really good for like that 11, 12 year range. So yeah. So that's book number 2 down. Now, it's time for me to actually start my last book for my November TBR. So I have, today's the 27th, so 27, 28, 29, 30. I have 4 days. Can I finish this and still read my next childhood book tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see. I will check in again later. It's my birthday, and I got a present I really didn't want today. You can't even like see out the window. It is snowing. I have to go clean off my car, so I will give you a peek, but you can see my hair. Yeah. Just white as everything. Like, can you even tell how deep that is? Thankfully, my husband was snowblowing when he got home. We had no snow yesterday. Like, this is crazy. Purple sweater?
Great dance. How exciting.
Navy pants?
Because you need one.
Shower curtain? Sesame, crispy sesame treats mini. I like sesame things. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy 39th birthday.
28.
28. I'm off by a bit.
Okay, so I am just checking in for Wednesday, November the 29th. And I still need to read one of these two books. But I am trying to finish this book. I'm just over halfway. Well, yeah, I'm on 216 of 340, I think it is. 346. So yeah, hopefully I can finish this between tonight and tomorrow night so that it can get in November's TBR. But I realized last night that I forgot to show you a book that I did receive for my birthday yesterday. So I got this from one of my coworkers, and it's Dear Mrs. Bird by AJ Pierce. Hey AJ, that's really cool. Andrew, Jeanette, that's really cool. Okay, that's not, that's me and my husband. That is not this author's name. Doesn't actually say, it just says AJ Pierce. But one of my coworkers was telling me that she was reading this book, and as she was describing it, I'm like, wow, that sounds really interesting. And then she gave it to me for my birthday. So it's a young woman in 1940s London who longs to be a war correspondent inadvertently becomes a secret advice columnist. So when she was telling me about it, she was saying that this lady is receiving letters and then writing responses to the letters, and I thought, well, that sounds really interesting because I love books with letters. So we'll see. I will read this at some point. So that was a book I received. I did receive some more books for my birthday from my husband, but he didn't wrap them up because I ordered them. So I'm going to leave them with the other books that I personally bought and just show them all in the haul that's coming at the end of December. So, sorry. But yesterday and today, I have been working on plans for next year. And I'm not sure. Oh, I can't flip. This camera doesn't flip. I have two phones that I film between, depending. I have my old phone, which is my normal phone that I normally film on, but then I have my regular cell phone, my personal phone, like my everyday use phone. And so when we're out and about, I film on that one. And one camera can flip between the front, forward, and the back view, which is my everyday phone, which is currently charging. But this phone is older, it cannot do that. So I was gonna flip you around to show you kind of what I'm working on, but I'll do a sneak peek this way. I don't know how well this will. Yeah, you can't. Well, sort of. You can see that a little bit. So I am working on plans for a reading challenge next year that I plan on sharing. And we can, if you want, you can participate in it. And so I have 15 prompts. That is not 15, Jeanette. 5, 10, 15. I have 15 prompts on the board. So I have one for every month. And then I have bonus prompts that you will be able to switch out if you don't like one of the prompts or if you just want to give an extra challenge. So that's what I'm working on. I hope to be filming that video in the next little while so that it will be up. I don't think it'll be up before this vlog, but yeah, no, I don't think it will be. So yeah, I'm just finishing the printable for that so that I can have that ready when I announce. So I hope you're excited for that because I'm excited for that because I've really enjoyed the idea of challenges this year, and I've kind of tossed over doing my own and sharing it and have like everybody kind of have fun together if you want. And I thought, well, let's give it a try. Why not? So yeah. So that is what I'm working on. I also just uploaded tomorrow's video, which is my last TBR game for the year. Like, wow. Like, I feel like I say this every year, but where has the year gone? Like, but I'm excited to start the new year and kind of plan stuff for 2024. But first, I have to finish November. Let's not rush December. Let's finish November and get this book finished. Most likely, yeah, I think so. Most likely my November reads, like my wrap up for all the books I read in November, will be up before this vlog. So you will know whether I actually finished this in time for that video or not. But that's the plan, because I don't plan on ending this video till these 2 books are read, which are my 2 childhood books that are left. Now, I know they're both short. I probably could sit and read them, but because I want to get this done, this is my focus right now. As soon as I finish this book, then I will return to these 2. So, I mean, I got 2 out of, because these are the other 2 that I've already finished, which I think are smaller than these 2 actually. So yeah, that is, what day did I say it was? Thursday's check-in. Oh yeah, this, I also got this for my birthday. I don't know why. I expected the back to be blue. I don't know why when the collar was black, but I don't know. I like it, it's comfy. Yeah. So that is my check-in for now. I'm going to return to reading to get some more done. And yeah, that is my plan for the rest of the evening. I finished it. It is Thursday evening, like late evening, like 10:30. But I have finished this book and I have filmed my wrap up for what I read in November. So now, before December starts, I'm going to read Treasures from Grandma, from Grandma's Attic series. And this one says, best wishes on your 12th birthday. So this is, do I tell you what year my 12th birthday was? No, I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I'm sure I've mentioned how old I am, but yeah. Okay, so it says, Grandma's wonderful memory, like Grandma's attic, holds a storehouse of treasures from the past. Anyone young enough to love a story, and that's just about everyone, will enjoy these glimpses of life on a Michigan farm 100 years ago. Come share in Grandma's childhood and meet her best friend, Sarah Jane. Time spent with these girls may be funny or touching, but never dull. Whether they're forging the autograph of John Greenleaf Whitaker, plotting to help an unsuspecting classmate lose weight, or debating the relative merits of beauty versus goodness, these 2 friends are growing and learning about life and faith. This is the 4th book in the best-selling Grandma's Attic series, brings you more stories to laugh over and learn from. So I don't know if this is like, each story is different, or I don't know. I don't know. It was published by David C. Cook. Yeah. A century ago, 100 years ago, that's when Grandma and her best friend were girls growing up on neighboring farms in Michigan. Their lives were very different from yours. The train came through their small town, but they never saw a plane or a bus or a taxi. The 2 girls couldn't call each other on the phone. They didn't have video games or dishwashers at home. They didn't even have electricity. Where would we be? But in other ways, Mabel and Sarah Jane were just like you. They quarreled and made up, plotted mischief that backfired, and tried their family's patience with their dreams and schemes. Spend a few days with these 2 friends. Then you decide, are they so very different from you after all? Okay, that sounds really cute. I wonder if it will come back to me. We'll see. I will check in once I've read it to let you know what I think, if I remember any of it, and yeah. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but I've forgotten. Oh wow. Okay, so this is book number 3 of my childhood books that I own, and next one I'm going to read. And this is the purple sweater that I got for my birthday. I'm liking this color. I am expanding color in my wardrobe. Not so much gray, white, black. pink. Those are kind of my four primary favorite colors that one of my friends says you own way too much gray and way too much white. But I love them. So look, I'm expanding my color palette. So, okay. As I said, it's 11:15. I've got my second wind. What can I say? Okay. I'm going to go read a little bit. And then I will check in again tomorrow and let you know where I am and will I get to this book before Saturday. It's Thursday night. I don't know. We'll see. It's a Friday afternoon and I'm just leaving work, but I just have to show you this insane weather. It cannot decide what it's doing here. Like, look at this. All that snow that we had, it is now pouring rain and it's gonna be gone. Like, that's crazy. Good evening. It is time to put up our Christmas trees. So we've pulled it out. Right there. We've moved the chair that was normally here. And we're gonna set it up. So I am not gonna film us while we set it up, but you will see the after. It's up. I really want to turn the phone the other way so you get a better view, but it is up. And we have put some of our new Christmas ornaments on it from our trip this year. So Gilmore Car Museum. Let's see, what else do we have? South Carolina. Billy Graham Library. Mayberry, North Carolina, which is actually Mount Airy, North Carolina. I feel like I know that's not all of them, but I don't know where the other ones are. Oh, I gotta move that ornament. It's backwards. Oh, here's one. The Blue Ridge Parkway. So that is just a couple of them. As I said, I gotta fix a couple ornaments that are facing backwards at the moment. It'll be up for a few days and I'll keep correcting until it's like perfect. And we cannot get a tree topper for this because it's a 7.5 foot tree, and as you can see, it's touching the ceiling of our basement. So we can't put a star or anything on top. So I'm in the search for something. But I got this snowflake, which I don't know if you can see at all. It really blends in, sort of there. But I really need one in red. I just have you propped up in our bedroom because it's Friday night and Andrew's up and watching TV. So I thought, well, I'll come in here and close the door and I can talk to you for a minute. But my tripod is downstairs. Oh well. So I have finished Treasures from Grandma. And this is following these two girls, friends, and just kind of some antics of their lives. And it was really enjoyable. Does not ring a bell to me at all. But as I said, I was 12 when I read it. And it reminded me a lot of Anne of Green Gables and her friend Diane. It's been a while since I've read Anne, I'm pretty sure. But just like kind of the things that the girls got involved in, right? And there was a couple things. So they live on a farm. Like Mabel is the main girl that we're following, and her best friend is Sarah Jane. But Mabel lives on a farm. Like, I guess apparently I've enjoyed farm settings forever. But there is one story in here about a bookcase that Mabel wanted for her birthday. So she gets this bookcase, and then it's a brand new bookcase in her room, and now her curtains look shabby. So then she gets new curtains. But then that makes the paint on the wall look dull. So then she paints a room. But then her bedspread and the rug look like don't go with the rest of the room. And so she wants to dye them, but she can't do that. So she makes a trade with her older brother and has him dye the bedspread and the rug, and she will go milk the cows for a month for him, like his kind of chores. And so like this birthday present bookcase became a really expensive present in the end, right? And she was not happy. A couple weeks into like milking, she was like, why did I do this? Like what, right? And it just kind of, at the end of it, I'm gonna see if I can try to find kind of the end of that little story. I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. Yeah. Be content with what you have. And then the very next story was called Monday's Child, and it has this little poem in it. And it's a poem, like it's not written for this book. It is a poem, fairy tale from back in the day. And it says, Monday's child is full of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child must work for a living. The child that's born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good always. So then I had to look up. I was pretty sure what day of the week I was born on, but I was like, hey, let's look it up and check. And I was correct. I was born on a Tuesday, which is what I thought, which is kind of funny because this year my birthday was on a Tuesday. Yeah, but Tuesday's child is full of grace. And I was like, yay, I got one of the good ones. So then I had to ask my husband when he was born. And then I asked one of my friends that I was in the middle of a text conversation with while I was reading this, when they were born, and so that we kind of had a good chuckle about the different days of the week. So yeah, so this was a really fun, enjoyable story. Dated, I mean, it opens in does it say here? 1886 is the first story. So yes. So now that I'm done this one, I have one book left to read from my childhood, and this one was given to me on my 13th birthday. And it is Making Choices, is what it says. So it is one of those that, like, this is not a normal book. If you read it straight through, it won't make sense. Instead, you must start on page 1 and then turn to the pages where your choices lead you. Your first choice is ordinary enough. Should you take the day off from working at your family's resort or answer your mother when she calls to you? And probably not get the day off. But after that, the choices may lead to new places, new people, exciting adventures, dangerous situations, and even an undersea world. If you want to read this book, you must choose to turn to page 1. So then you read this story that's on page 1. And then at the bottom of it, it says your choices. You pretend you don't hear, turn to page 2. You go back to see what she wants. Turn to page 7. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be, yeah. But I am not gonna start this one today. I'm gonna leave this to start tomorrow because I've now read that today. So I am going to read my first December TBR book, which is The Prince of Spies by Elizabeth Camden. I will read this one and it will finish a series for me before the end of the year. And this was the one that was picked on my Reader's Choice, or that I picked on my Reader's Choice. So perfect one to start with. So that is what I'm going to do. And because it is a Friday night and a Saturday night, like I get both nights this week where my husband doesn't need to go to bed early, that means I can read with the light on in bed, which is why I chose a physical book to pick up to read. So that's what I will be reading this weekend, but I will also work on reading this one this weekend so that I can get this vlog wrapped up with my childhood books. So I am checking in for the last time for this vlog anyways, I have a heating pad on my neck because I have been battling a headache for the last 2 days. So I did not check in at all yesterday because my head just hurts so bad. But I have read parts of this. I should have read the back before. I mean, I knew it was a choose your own adventure. But it also says, making choices books lets you create your own stories with the choices you make, page by page. If you don't like the way things are turning out in your story, you can go back and start over. This book has over 30 possible endings. 30! Crazy. So I was reading parts of it Friday night to my husband. I would read a little bit of story, let him make the choice, and then I'd get to the end. Then when we were making lunch on Saturday, so yesterday, I was doing the same thing. And I swear we still, I don't know, maybe 10 endings I got to, I think. Like I never did get to, because it says about being on a boat and battling waves on a rowboat. Yeah, never got to any of that. So we didn't make the right choices to get to that part, apparently. But yeah, this was really entertaining because every time we read, we could make a different choice and do something different. And yeah, I would recommend this book for kids. Doesn't come back to me, don't remember reading it, but I would highly recommend it for kids. So, yesterday as well, I worked on my TBR game for next year, kind of finalized everything. I had the plans, but there was a couple things I still had to print and finalize. So I'll give you a sneak peek because I have all the prompts printed now. So let you turn around. So I have all the prompts printed for the game. I'm excited to try playing it. I'm also a little nervous though because I might end up with more than 6 books, but I could also end up with less than 6 books. So yeah. Then today, this afternoon, I worked on updating my blog. Get all the reviews from September, October, and November. September, October, November on my blog. I have still a way to go. I don't have any of them published yet because I still gotta finalize things, but I have made good progress on that. And then we went out for supper with friends this evening. And now I'm going to film, I'm filming the end of this wrap up. And then I'm going to film another video that is coming in December. So hopefully this evening can be somewhat productive even, and hopefully I can get rid of this headache. It's less than what it was. I'm functioning much better now than I was earlier, but yeah. So that is this vlog for now. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel and keep an eye out for future videos, future vlogs, kind of days in our life. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.